Hello, thank you for joining me for your Moonday weekly reading for the collective. This week our moon will be finishing off in Leo, losing its light, and then it's going to be rebirthed in Virgo energy midweek, and then it's going to start growing light in Libra energy. So we may be feeling like we're not as strong, like we may not have a strong start to the beginning of the week, like not feeling very empowered in what we're doing. And we may then be able to reassess that by thinking of some structure and daily routine that we can bring into our life that may help build in our ability to feel effective, to have a purpose to share with the world, and to be in our empowerment. And we may be able to start further cultivating that notion with how to really do it in a way that feels beautiful and harmonious and fair. So I'm not sure what our cards are going to say, but that's the gist of what the moon energy is speaking towards this week. So in this reading, I deal with the emotional self, and here comes the rain, by the way. So that's a little affirmation. We may be having a very emotionally expressive week. And then I'm going to deal with what's kind of going on in our physical reality, and then with our higher self. And each segment here has a card that gives a little bit of direction towards a therapy, we could say, to help us out. So what I'm getting is that emotionally you may be feeling very full, like there may actually be a lot of excuse me, I was burning a lot of sage earlier. You may actually feel you may be very in touch with the feminine aspects of your emotional self, and really in a fullness of that. So you may be feeling exceptionally nurturing towards yourself or others, especially towards yourself, and just really honoring the way that your sensual self, and how everything's connected, your emotions to your senses and your body itself. So you may be doing some self-care, not only in the emotional realm, I want to say, but also physically, maybe doing some spa work or something, or this would be a good time for that. This is a nice echo of that energy too. So I'm seeing here that there's really something about this self-care and self-nurture that helps you be able to regain a sense of direction and have the emotional strength and aptitude to pursue what you feel like is your higher calling, your true purpose in life. So I'm loving that. And again, this is really an energy that deals with your physical manifestation, yet it's intertwined with this higher purpose, this idealism, where you're really headed if you were to pursue like the utmost. So as your therapy card from the Mudras deck, we have curiosity, and I'm going to read really quick what this is. It is not always easy to contemplate the future with equanimity and simple curiosity. On the other hand, what other choice do we have, as we cannot know what the future holds for us? Anticipation and curiosity are good for the liver, help to revive one's spirits and stimulate the production of feel-good hormones, so you can use your imagination to picture the future as you would like it to be. Picture what makes you satisfied and happy, and then be as curious as a kitten, waiting for little and big miracles every day. A mantra that you can use this week is, I am a child of the sun. I accept the shadows and enjoy the sunny side of life. So I'm kind of getting like breaking out of limitations, like self-imposed limitations, and in trying to do that, it's really about caring for yourself, not treating yourself in a way that is too rigid. Okay, I'm going to look now. I really like this set of cards I'm seeing here as well as here. Like they feel very in touch with one another. I'm going to look here at the physical reality, whether it's your body or just your environment. I'm going to have to say that I feel like there may be more of a felt conflict going on with someone that may be kind of encompassing your whole, or part of like your whole reality, at least your thought space. Like you may be in sort of this mental conflict with someone or stagnation. There may be anger on both parts, but it may not be being fully expressed. This may be something that feels just sort of strange to both of you and not really even accessible, like explainable. It feels so abstract. Yet the emotions are there, and they're very strong. I was going to say I'm getting kind of a masculine feminine, but this could also be two masculine energies that are experiencing this together. This may be something very long-standing. You may have this may be someone from your past. If you deal with past lives, it may be a past life thing. It may be a past life that's carried into this lifetime. And it's just such a bond. This may be family, or someone that really feels like family. And it just feels like it couldn't go any deeper. Like the bond to this person is so historic. So whatever's going on here, it feels very enmeshed, very intertwined. Like you're almost, meant to be kind of operating as one. This bond, I just can't express enough, like the way that it feels so tightly wound. And there may be such a history here, such a foundation, and yet it's gone dormant, like the passion is just not there, or it's under the surface and could emerge either as anger or as passion, at any moment. It's it just feels like there's a lot of anticipation, as well as kind of a repressed anger and disappointment, and just not being acknowledging the bond that's there, and being in that, and honoring the naturalness of this bond. So I really wonder what's going on here. I'm also seeing along with this, there would normally be a strong building energy, building for the family, building foundations, with just a ton of energy. If something doesn't work out, we'll rebuild it, like we can keep rebuilding and rebuilding, regardless of how many times it's tore down. There's endless energy to maintain the structure and the function here, like the ability to build, I want to say, family. So this may be a marriage partner, or just someone that you have a family with, or your brother and sister, or whatever. It could also be father, son, it could be any dynamic there. But I'm feeling like there's a bit of a waning going on, with the energy not being as strong as it could be towards the achievement. And, I think it feels like there's just one person in this that's willing to do all the work, basically, and be the person to lay the foundation, to create the structure, to create the happy home and family. And that maybe this is just starting to fade away, that this is not a cause that is achievable or worth putting energy towards. But it seems like this is what makes that individual really happy, is to be part of the unit, to give their energy to the family. Now, for some advice here, we have from the Essential Oils deck a card that's speaking to topical applications, so maybe lotions and oils that you can use that are working towards harmony. A trigger statement associated with this is, I am boiling over. And a truth statement is, I allow myself to feel. Which really, I'm really getting off of that. So a further message here is, give yourself space to decompress and take time to nurture your body, mind, and spirit. Allow emotions to surface and release. Okay. So whatever's going on here, I think that there's just a need to be, there's an acknowledgement that a person can be happy on their own, doing their own thing, or keep themselves excessively busy and just doing their own thing as is. But whatever energy that maybe you're in partnership with, there is conflict here, and it needs to be looked at. It needs to be addressed. Okay, so let's look and see what we got going on here in the higher self arena. So it seems like there really needs to be like a common, like coming together, like seeing, not being at cross purposes, and that there is a need for this because of security, good old security. There's nothing like security to cause a ton of interpersonal conflict. It's such a big issue. I mean, it's so foundational to our existence, our animal, our lizard brains, the fear factor here. So there may be issues with survival going on, and understanding the need for interdependence when it comes to being human beings in our reality. But I see here, this this ability to just be on one's own and work away and have emotional contentment, and that there's something about being together as a species that is making us less secure, that is more threatening than being on our own. So I think that's for me at least, that's a big thing to contemplate. I don't think I've really reflected on that before, like what it means to come out of a people that were very interdependent as families and needed one another, to become highly happy and functioning as independent beings, programmed to have a family, working as if we have a family, but almost just being on our own. And when we need to come together, that somehow it creates a conflict with our ability to just be secure. So it's like things have been flipped in that way. And, to finish this off, we have two pretty congruent messages that this one is grounding, would be the therapy card. And this one, speaking of Gaia, which is the energy that we would be grounding to. So let me just read here the message off of this. It says, the frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another. Wow. Just as we are to our great mother and to the universe that birthed us all. Okay. So, in a way it's saying there's no escape, even if we have learned to be these independent workers. Regardless of that, we are interconnected. And I think this is so great that this is a collective reading, because I really feel like this is the emerging thing that's coming out, and that we're having a new moon, this week as this message is coming out. Like for a whole month, we're going to be able then to pursue this idea of what our interdependence means, not only to one another, but to everything, to the entire universe and to the earth. And I just think that it couldn't be a more pertinent message. But, in regards to that, we still need to self-nurture. This really independent energy came out, like take care of ourselves. And then somehow, how do we work this into the collective as well? So it may be a very emotional week. We are still getting a lot of rain where I'm at. But, explore that. Allow yourself to feel. I know that for myself personally, that's been a challenge, but also a great blessing to start experiencing that a little bit more, being able to get more emotionally connected with life. So wishing you all well. Take really good care. Stay blessed.